The champagne glass trembled in Marcus Reed's hand as he stared across the glittering ballroom, watching his ex-fiancée laugh intimately with her new billionaire boyfriend. The sight hit him like a punch to the chest, stealing his breath and threatening to shatter what little composure he had left. After working double shifts for 3 years, to save for an engagement, ring she'd called embarrassingly modest, seeing her now, draped in diamonds that could fund a small country, felt like the cruelest twist of fate. "You look like you're about to throw up," came a gentle voice beside him. Marcus turned to find Maria Santos, the evening janitor he'd chatted with during countless late nights at Reed Industries. She was supposed to be invisible at these corporate galas, just another uniformed worker maintaining the pristine facade. But tonight something was different. Maybe it was how she'd stopped to check on him when everyone else was too busy networking to notice his distress. "I might actually throw up," Marcus admitted, loosening his bow tie. As the company's head of community outreach, he was required to attend these events. But tonight felt like pure torture. "My ex just walked in with Harrison Blackwell. You know, the guy who owns half of Manhattan?" Maria's dark eyes followed, his gaze to the couple commanding attention near the auction display. "The one who's been in the news for those awful comments about lazy poor people? That's the one." Marcus took a shaky sip of champagne. "They're probably going to announce their engagement tonight, in front of everyone I work with, everyone who knew we were together for 4 years. He watched as photographers swarmed around them, camera flashes illuminating his ex-fiancée's triumphant smile. The irony wasn't lost on him that this gala was supposed to raise money for homeless shelters, causes he'd dedicated his career to, supporting, while she'd chosen, a man who actively opposed such initiatives. "You know what?" Maria said suddenly, smoothing down her janitor's uniform. "I have an idea that's either brilliant or completely insane." Before Marcus could ask what she meant, Maria had disappeared into the crowd. He stood there, feeling more alone than ever, until she reappeared, 20 minutes later wearing a stunning black evening gown that seemed to shimmer under the ballroom lights. Her hair, usually pulled back in a simple ponytail, now fell in elegant waves around her shoulders. How did you, Marcus stammered. "Lost and Found is a magical place," Maria grinned, adjusting what looked like borrowed jewelry. "Plus, I may have sweet-talked the coat check girl into letting me raid the unclaimed items from last month's charity auction. Now, are you going to ask me to dance? Or are we going to let them think you came here alone?" Marcus stared at her transformation. But more than that, he was struck by the kindness in her gesture. "Maria, you don't have to do this. You barely know me." "I know enough," she said simply. "I know you stay late every Thursday to personally review applications for the scholarship program. I know you keep granola bars in your desk drawer for homeless people who come by the office. And I know you deserve better than someone who'd leave you for a bigger bank account." As they moved onto the dance floor, Marcus felt something shift inside his chest. Maria moved with natural grace, and her genuine smile made him forget about the cameras, the whispers, the crushing weight of public humiliation. For the first time in months, he felt like he could breathe. "You're really good at this," he murmured as they swayed to the orchestra's music. "My grandmother taught me," Maria replied. She used to say dancing was just another way of showing kindness, making your partner look good, feel confident. That's when Marcus truly saw her. Not as the quiet janitor who emptied his trash bins, but as the woman who remembered how he liked his coffee during late nights, who always asked about his mother's chemotherapy treatments, who somehow knew exactly what he needed tonight. The evening took an unexpected turn during the charity auction. Harrison Blackwell, clearly trying to impress everyone with his wealth, had been aggressively outbidding everyone on the major items. When the final lot came up, a week-long vacation package to help a family of refugees, the bidding stalled at $15,000. "Going once," called the auctioneer. Maria suddenly raised her hand. "20,000. The ballroom fell silent. Marcus grabbed her arm. "Maria, what are you doing?" "That's 50,000. Blackwell called out, smirking as if this was all a game. 100,000. Maria's voice rang clear across the room. The gasps were audible now. Marcus felt his heart racing. He knew Maria worked 2 jobs just to support her younger siblings' college tuition. Blackwell's face reddened. 200,000. Maria stood up, her borrowed dress catching the light. Everything, she said quietly, but her voice carried in the stunned silence. I bid everything I have. Every dollar I've saved, every penny from selling my grandmother's jewelry, every cent from working double shifts for 3 years. $347,216. The room erupted. Cameras flashed. Blackwell sputtered, clearly not expecting someone to literally bet their entire life savings on a charity auction. Maria, no, Marcus whispered, understanding the magnitude of what she'd just done, but she turned to him with tears in her eyes and a smile that could have powered the entire city. Some things are worth more than money, Marcus. That family deserves a chance at happiness, and sometimes showing the world what real generosity looks like is worth every sacrifice. The auctioneer, clearly moved, declared her the winner. As applause thundered through the ballroom, Marcus realized that Maria hadn't just stolen the gala, she'd restored his faith in humanity. Later that evening, as they sat on the building's rooftop garden, still in their formal wear but finally alone, Marcus took her hand. You know you didn't have to prove anything tonight, he said softly. I wasn't trying to prove anything, Maria replied, looking out over the city lights. I was just being myself, the same person who's been watching you be kind and generous every day for 3 years, wondering if you'd ever notice that kindness is more attractive than any diamond. Marcus felt something click into place, like a puzzle piece he'd been searching for his entire life. Maria Santos, would you like to go on a real date with me? Somewhere that doesn't require borrowed dresses or billionaire ex-fiancés? I thought you'd never ask, she laughed, and the sound was better than any applause they'd received that night. As news of Maria's extraordinary generosity spread through social media, something beautiful happened. Donations poured in from around the world, not just to replenish her savings, but to support the causes she'd championed. The refugee family she'd helped became advocates themselves, and Maria's story inspired a movement of everyday heroes making extraordinary sacrifices for others. But the most beautiful part wasn't the money or the fame. It was Marcus finally understanding that true wealth isn't measured in bank accounts, but in the courage to give everything for something that matters. And Maria, who had pretended to be his date for one evening, had become the most genuine person he'd ever known.